The grand lobby of Ellington Enterprises shimmered beneath the afternoon sun, its marble floors polished to perfection. Olivia Hartman, the confident and sharp-tongued CEO, moved gracefully among her guests as preparations for the evening charity gala continued. The centerpiece of the event was a magnificent black Steinway piano gleaming under soft lights. Nearby, Henry Cole, the janitor, mopped the floor quietly, his grey hair and worn uniform making him almost invisible among the executives. As laughter echoed across the room, Olivia, in a playful mood, joked to her colleagues, "If anyone here can play Chopin properly, I might just marry them." Her friends laughed, assuming no one in the room could. Henry paused mid-swipe, his heart skipping. He hadn't heard that name Chopin in years. Memories of old music halls, his youth at Juilliard, and his late wife flooded back. Olivia noticed his stillness and smirked. "What's wrong, Henry?" "Don't tell me you can play," she teased, her tone laced with irony. Henry looked up, his eyes calm but deep, and replied softly, "It's been a long time, Mom." She chuckled, dismissing him, and turned away. But Henry's hands trembled slightly on the mop handle. Somewhere inside him, the music was waking up again. Evening descended on the city, and the atrium of Ellington Enterprises glowed with golden light. Guests arrived in elegant attire, their laughter mingling with the soft clinking of glasses. Everything was ready except the pianist. The storm outside had delayed him indefinitely, and murmurs of impatience spread through the crowd. Olivia, already stressed, paced near the stage, trying to maintain her composure. That's when Henry stepped forward, his voice calm yet firm. "Ma'am, if it helps, I can play something," he said. Olivia turned, startled. "You?" she asked, half amused. "It's Chopin, not a jukebox tune." Henry smiled faintly. "I understand, ma'am." Something in his steady eyes silenced her sarcasm. Unsure why, she nodded and stepped aside. The janitor climbed the small stage, his old shoes squeaking against the marble. He sat at the Steinway, brushed the dust from the keys, and closed his eyes. Then gently he began to play Nocturne in E-flat major. The melody floated like mist through the air, soft, graceful, alive. Conversation stopped. Heads turned. Every note carried pain, memory, and beauty, too deep for words. Within moments, the gala that had been filled with chatter fell utterly silent. The janitor, no one noticed, had just taken co. When the last note faded, a deep silence hung over the room. Then one by one, people began to clap, slowly at first, then rising into thunderous applause. Henry stood, his expression humble, while guests surged forward to meet him. Olivia approached, still stunned. "That was extraordinary," she whispered. "Where did you learn to play like that?" Henry smiled faintly, his eyes distant. "Juilliard. I was a pianist once, before life took me somewhere else." She stared at him, speechless. "Then why are you working here as a janitor?" He looked down at his hands. "My wife got sick years ago. The medical bills were endless, and concerts didn't pay enough. I promised her I'd take care of things, even if it meant giving up the piano." The weight of his words sank into the room. Olivia felt a lump in her throat. Her earlier arrogance seemed shallow now. Around them, people murmured in admiration. For the first time, Olivia saw Henry not as an employee, but as a man of depth, sacrifice, and quiet dignity. "Thank you for reminding us what real talent is," she said softly. Henry nodded, his eyes glistening. "Thank you," he repeated. The story of the janitor who silenced a CEO spread through social media and news outlets within days. Reporters called him the hidden maestro, and videos of his performance went viral. At Ellington Enterprises, Henry was no longer invisible. Olivia personally invited him to perform at every corporate and charity event, this time as a paid musician, not a cleaner. During one quiet afternoon in her office, Olivia smiled and said, "You know, I still owe you something. I once promised to marry anyone who could play Chopin properly." Henry chuckled warmly. "Careful, ma'am, your shareholders might object," he replied. They both laughed, the tension between them replaced with mutual respect. But Olivia kept her promise in another way. She established a scholarship in Henry's late wife's name to fund music education for underprivileged children. Henry began teaching again, his music now a gift to others rather than a memory of loss. Every evening after work, he would sit by the piano in the atrium and play softly while employees listened in quiet admiration. The man who once mopped floors now inspired a generation, and his melodies lingered long after the notes ended, reminding everyone that greatness can come from the most unexpected places. Lied for letting me play again, man of the room.